Today, we are spending the day in the largest lagoon, not just in the state of Florida, but in the entire country.
With 33 million gallons of water, this man-made lagoon has nearly a mile of shoreline and covers 15.2 acres, which is around 5 football fields.
In addition to being insanely huge, this lagoon has stretches of white sand beaches and some amenities you'll have to see to believe.
Now it's just a little after 10 a.m. and this place just opened, but the temperature's already well into the 80s and we are getting hot, so we'll see you in the water.
Now, in case you were wondering, the name of this mid-Florida marvel is the Mirada Lagoon, and Skylar's going to tell you a little more about it right now.
Now we should probably mention where you can actually find the Mirada Lagoon, and technically it's located within the town of San Antonio, Florida, which honestly until a few days ago we didn't even know existed. It's about a half hour north of Tampa and an hour and a half west of Orlando. Now the closest beaches to here that we'd consider to be high quality are Clearwater Beach and Honeymoon Island, which are both around an hour or so from here. So when you have a man-made beach like this one just minutes away, we could understand why the people that live here would never want to go back to the real beach. And at the end of this video, we'll let you know if we think this is a good alternative to the beaches on the Gulf Coast.
So this water feels really nice, even though it's not heated. I'd say it's warmed up naturally pretty well. It's not yet bathtub warm like the Gulf will be later in the summer, but it's warm enough to where it's comfortable yet still refreshing. I think that our decision to come here in late May was a good one.
Now, during the time of our visit, the standard entrance fee to the lagoon was $35 per adult on weekdays and $45 per adult on weekends if you booked ahead of time online. These standard tickets will give you all-day access to the lagoon, which is open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. These tickets will not give you access to the Splash Pass activities, however, which include the inflatable obstacle course, kayaks, and paddleboards. But you can get unlimited access to those activities for an additional charge. Since we were both pretty excited about trying the inflatable obstacle course, we decided to pay the extra charge for the Splash Pass. After getting our bags searched and showing our tickets, we received wristbands and were off to enjoy the lagoon.
Now I have no idea where they got this sand from, but they brought in 17 million pounds of it and it is soft and powdery.
So I was just about to say how perfect of a day we picked to come here, and then we were all told that we have to get out of the pool. I'm guessing they saw a lightning strike somewhere. It is pretty cloudy. There's some pretty dark clouds behind us. I haven't seen any lightning though, so hopefully that means we'll be able to get back in pretty soon. So never mind guys, it turns out there is no lightning in the area, but there is a broken pipe around here somewhere, which unfortunately means they have to shut this lagoon down for the day after we've only been here maybe around an hour or so. Now it's definitely a bummer. We're really looking forward to showing you a lot more of this lagoon, but there is a silver lining because there is another lagoon just a few miles down the road from here. It's called the Epperson Lagoon, and they are going to give us free admission to that one. I don't think it's as big as this one, but we're excited to see what it has to offer. So I guess that means we're going to get to show you 2 lagoons in this video.
Now before we get out of here, we did want to show you they have this huge inflatable obstacle course, and it was supposed to be open every hour on the hour for 30 minutes. And actually there were some people out there going through it when they closed the park down. We were really hoping to go out there. There's an area that I think you can jump into the water from 15 foot, and you know Skylar was going to do that. And over here is where you could get on the kayaks and paddleboards. That was another thing we were planning on doing today, because you can take them all the way out there.
So in yet another turn of events, we just found out that they may actually be reopening this lagoon in about 20 or 30 minutes or so. We found out that there was a main pipe break about a block from here, but the county apparently is currently trying to fix it. We do still have the option of going to Epperson Lagoon, but we really wanted to show you the biggest lagoon in Florida today. So we're gonna stick around and kill 20 minutes or so, probably grab a drink, maybe get some food, and then hopefully we'll see you back in this lagoon. If not, we'll see you at Epperson. So we're trying to make some lemons out of lemonade here and use this little 20-30 minute break to enjoy a drink from the bar. The bar situation over here is actually pretty decent. It looks like they do have a pretty good variety of liquor. They have a decent variety of craft beers on tap, and it looks like they do also offer some buckets of beers and some happy hour specials starting at 4.
Now, outside of this pipe situation, we still think we picked a really good day to visit because we just found out that the kids in this area are still in school for about 2 more days. So if we would have visited on the weekend or maybe next week, I'm guessing it would have been a lot busier. Something else we learned about this lagoon is that because it's part of this master plan community, residents can access it for free. There's actually a part of the beach here that's for residents only, as well as a swimming area. Now, if you are concerned about shade, you can bring your own umbrellas, but they have to be under 6 foot. You can also rent umbrellas with loungers. There's palapas, and there's also inflatable shade areas. Those are a little bit more expensive, but if you want to come here for the day and just really relax, you can go all out. They don't allow any outside food or drink, but you can bring in 1 sealed bottle of water, or you can bring a refillable bottle. They do have a few water filling stations around the lagoon. I see the bar's back open.
Yeah, they have highlight on draft. This was $7, which is probably only like $1 or so more than you'd pay for it at a bar typically, so not too bad. Now, it does appear that right next to the main bar, they do also have a swim-up bar. I'm not sure if they're going to be opening it today based on how few people are here, but it does look like it'd be a really nice place to enjoy a drink. Now, just as I took my first drink of beer, they made an announcement that we could get back into the pool. I don't think it was closed for even 15 minutes, so it looks like we're going to be getting to show you a whole lot more of the Mirada Lagoon. So we cannot even make this up, guys. I had almost finished my beer. We were getting ready to get back in the water. And then we were told by the staff that once again, everyone had to get back out of the water. But this time it actually was due to lightning in the area. But honestly, even though it sucks that we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get back in the water, we've been pretty impressed with the staff here. When they had the issue with the pipe break, they came around and let everyone know. They gave us the option to go to the other lagoon. And obviously now that there's lightning in the area, they gotta do their job and get everyone out of the water. So 0 complaints about the staff here at Mirada Lagoon.
Now, while Skylar finishes his beer, we're gonna show you where we grabbed a coffee earlier today because there's a brand new coffee shop in San Ann just a few minutes away. So I got the Haven, which is a caramel iced latte, and Skylar got a hot latte with white caramel drizzle. And they have a bunch of pastries here, so we had to grab a bag of these.
And they make them in-house, right?
And they make them in-house. So that has good coffee flavor, but it's also really sweet. Definitely a treat.
So this one is quite a bit less sweet than Jamie's. Not super strong, but still plenty of flavor.
So the pastry had a little bit of guava and a little bit of cream cheese, which I really like because it's not overly sweet, since I did go with a sweeter coffee this morning. But this is delicious.
Well, these taste extremely fresh. Like Jamie said, not a ton of cream cheese or guava inside, but that actually allows you to really taste the pastry itself. It's really good. So we thought from our research online that the Haven was pretty new because it only had a few reviews and they were all very recent. But when we got inside, we actually learned that they've only been open for a week or so. And for a place that's only been open for a week, we were really impressed. We both enjoyed our coffees. They also had a very good variety of baked goods. They do freshly baked bagels and bagel sandwiches as well. We also learned that they're located in a former bank or a credit union. They even have the original safe door, and they've converted the safe area itself into a sitting area. We also thought the prices were really reasonable, so we would definitely recommend stopping by prior to your visit to the lagoon.
Now the rest of today is really up in the air because we just heard thunder, so they are likely not going to be letting us back in the water anytime soon.
Yeah, if they don't let us back in soon, I'm probably going to be racking up a pretty big bar tab.
Well, let's maybe go check out the food situation first before you get your next beer.
the skies behind us have only gotten darker, and we also noticed that all the lifeguards appear to have gotten out of the pool. So at this point, we're just hoping that we can get back in the water at some point today. It looks like the lifeguards are heading back out to the water, so hopefully that means we'll be getting back in soon.
It is right around 1 o'clock and we have finally been given the go-ahead to get back in the water, so we'll see you out there. So even though we can get back in the water, the storm hasn't passed enough to where we can get on the kayaks, paddleboards, or the obstacle course. So Skylar decided he is gonna go cool down at this bucket thing.
Woo.
Did that cool you down?
Definitely feeling a bit cooler.
Next he's heading to the slide.
There we go. That was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. So after spending a few hours at this lagoon, I'm not sure we're quite ready to trade in our Gulf Coast beach life for lagoon living, but we definitely can see the appeal to some people, especially considering you can get way more house here than you can close to the beach. I did a little research and it looks like there's 8 different home builders in this neighborhood, and by the time it's all said and done, there's going to be around 5,000 houses here. Now, those houses range anywhere in price from well over $1 million for a big house to around $250,000 or so for a townhouse. And in case you're curious of what the neighborhood looks like here in Mirada, we're going to show you a little bit of it right now. Now in this area, you can see there's a bunch of different townhouses. Most of them are 2-bed, 3-bath, have around 1,600 square foot and a 1-car garage. And you can buy some of them for around $250,000 right now. They do come with a $400 a month HOA, but that does give you access to the lagoon. Now the prices in this community pretty much only go up from there. There are a lot of houses that are much more expensive. A lot of them are behind gates, so we're not even going to be able to show them to you. But we thought it was nice to know that there are at least a few reasonable priced options in this neighborhood.
Now Mirada is one of 4 Metro Lagoon communities in Florida. We already mentioned Epperson, that one's in Wesley Chapel. There's also one in Fort Myers and in Wimauma, and we took you to that city on our channel earlier this year. We've also heard that they're building one in Parrish, which is really close to where we live in Palmetto, so maybe in the future we'll show you what that one's like.
So like Jamie mentioned, we are visiting this lagoon in late May, which is getting into the beginning of stormy season here in Florida, when it can pretty much storm almost every day. So you're just bound to run into issues like we have today, where different things are going to be closed at different times. Now currently everything is open other than the paddling and the obstacle course, and because it does take longer to get people that are doing those activities back to land, they do have stricter rules when it comes to lightning.
Obstacle course is finally open.
Hurry up and get your life jacket on before they shut it down again. Got our life jackets on, and now we're just waiting for them to tell us we can go. So we are still surrounded by a lot of clouds, but none of them look like storm clouds, and we are actually in line now, so hopefully that means we'll be on it soon.
All right, we got the go-ahead to swim out to the course.
Finally!
I think each session is about 30 minutes. There's a lot of people in this session, but I think a lot of people have been waiting all day to get on it. All right, Skylar's on.
Can we be NPCs on your video?
Absolutely.
You're never gonna see me again. But you're gonna remember me forever.
Right,
I'm trying not to mess these guys up.
It'll make for better video.
Oh yeah, right?
Well, yeah, we could turn it into like a wipeout.
Fun. That one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
All right, time to climb up this thing.
Oh, that's a trampoline. Does it? Yeah, it bounces a little bit. Look at that. That's awesome.
Not too bad, right?
Not too bad. That definitely gave me a wedgie. It does actually take a little bit of strength to get yourself up on these platforms.
Yeah, it does.
All right, I got some icebergs to climb here. Skylar is heading up to the big slide. I'm going to the end to catch him flying off of it. somehow I still have my hat and both of our sunglasses, which is great because if you lose anything in this water and take your life jacket off to dive down, they end the session and everybody has to come in early. Woo! I thought you would fly out further.
Yeah, you go down fast, but you don't like go far in the air at all. So the lifeguard at the top said that later in the year, she does expect that they'll open up the side so you can jump off of it. But for now, they're only letting you go down the slide.
Skylar's waiting in line to go back up to the slide. He's gonna try a different strategy, see if he can fly a little bit more.
So I just learned that the secret to going fast is to jump, so we're gonna give that a try. That was a lot better.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did I get more air that time?
Oh, I think so.
I felt like I did.
Yeah, definitely.
So even though we're not able to jump off the 15-foot obstacle, there is one here that's probably about 10 foot or so. So I'm gonna jump off that next.
So today I am the dedicated water camera woman. My leg has been acting up a little bit, but that's okay. It's still a lot of fun watching everybody else jump off and go down the slides. So even if you're somebody that isn't interested in the more adventurous activities, you can still come out here, float around, and go on some of the obstacles if you want to. I would still recommend it. So we think our session is about to be ending. So Skylar gave me, both GoPros. He wants to try to do a cannonball. Ooh!
So I never really thought about it, but it's a lot harder to do a cannonball when you're wearing a life jacket and when you're as old as I am.
Was it worth the wait to go on the obstacle course?
Yeah, I think so. It was fun. I still wish they would have let us jump off that big one, but I enjoyed myself. So I think at this point, the only thing left to do is go paddleboard, right?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Paddlecraft are really busy right now.
Yeah.
Now I have to put the blue life jackets on for the paddlecraft.
This is gray and
Gray?
black.
Oh.
There's no blue in these.
I guess gray. And we're off. The water does look really pretty from up here. Now we have to go around this obstacle course if we want to go to that side of the lagoon.
Nice to be on a paddleboard again. It's pretty easy on this calm water, isn't it? Much easier than paddling on the Gulf.
I think the area Skylar is paddling by is the VIP area. You can pay more to have nice cabanas and be closer to another bar, I think. I had to stop and put my feet in the water because, gosh, it is hot.
So we're out on our paddleboards now, kind of away from the main beach area and over in the more private area. And it is incredibly relaxing and peaceful out here. There's no waves, so you really don't have to worry about tipping over on your paddleboard. It's quiet, you can't really hear the music. It's really nice. So Jamie is way out there in the middle of the lagoon. I think she's definitely enjoying her peace and quiet out there. I thought Jamie might have actually been sleeping over there, but I just saw her pick up her head and talking into her camera.
I'd recommend grabbing a paddleboard, coming out to the middle of the lagoon and just floating because this is really peaceful. There's some birds in the water and those birds that are typically at the beach. So I guess this beach is good enough for them.
You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's nice out here.
I thought you were sleeping for a little while. I think it's almost 4 o'clock. You know what that means. Happy hour.
I thought we were gonna go get some food instead.
Maybe one drink and then food.
All right, we'll see what the happy hour is. I'm sure Skylar wishes he was on that obstacle course right now.
So I was actually really surprised to find that they offer $5 well cocktails here for happy hour. I thought that was a great deal for a place like this. So I got a well tequila and grapefruit juice, and I got Jamie just a straight grapefruit juice. The grapefruit juice is actually really good, and the size isn't bad either. So definitely no complaints for a $5 drink.
Now I think we've shown you everything at this lagoon besides the VIP area and the food. Now we did take a look at the menus and honestly nothing jumped out at us and it was a little bit pricey. Plus there is a place in San Ann that's been on our mind, so we'll see you there next. So our last spot here in San Ann is the Hungry Greek behind me. Now we had never heard of this place until we went to the Haven coffee shop this morning. The folks there told us it was so good and even gave us some coupons. Plus we love Greek food, so it wasn't hard to convince us to give it a try. So we ordered the Hungry Pita with gyro meat, a Greek salad, grape leaf appetizers, and the Greek fries. It came out super fast and it is way bigger than I expected it to be. I was so hungry, I couldn't wait to try it. I had a little bit of that gyro meat and it was so tender and flavorful. And also that salad, whatever dressing they have on there, it's very tangy and Skylar is gonna love that it has beets on it.
Now this grape leaf appetizer actually comes on a bed of what appears to be like a rice soup. It's definitely unique. I've never seen that before and I can't wait to try it. So I do really like that. The grape leaves are just stuffed with meat and then the rice is in like a citrus sauce. It's really good. And these fries are fresh and crispy. They're covered in feta cheese and some sort of Greek seasoning. And they also come with this cucumber dipping sauce, which really puts them over the top. Now, even though the Hungry Greek is basically a fast food place, we both thought that the Greek salad and that pita were better than a lot of the ones we've had at sit-down restaurants. Overall, the meal was great and it was a perfect way to wrap up a fun but exhausting day at the Mirada Lagoon.
Now our day at the lagoon definitely tested our patience, but eventually we got to try everything that we wanted to. Ultimately, we agreed that it is not going to be taking the place of our Gulf Coast beaches, but we definitely understand why those living in this area or vacationing in this area would think the lagoon is worth checking out. We also think it's a great alternative to the Gulf Coast beaches when there is red tide in the area. Now, if you're interested in seeing more Florida adventures like this one, then make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on. Thanks for watching.